Now I request technical team to play the video. Thank you. Thank you, technical team. Atithi Deva Bhav. Following this culture, now I request Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. Upinder Dhar, Sri Vaishnav Vidyapeeth Vishwavidyalaya Indore to virtually welcome our chief guest Dr. Balram Chauhan sir. Please, technical team. Thank you. Thank you. Now, I would like to request Dr. M.P. Gautam, Professor, Sri Vaishnav Institute of Forensic Science, Sri Vaishnav Vidyapeeth Vishwavidyalaya Indore, for about Utthan 2024. Please, sir, over to you, sir. Mike. Sir, please unmute.
Okay. Good morning to all of you. The chief guest of Utthan 2024, respected Dr. Balram Chauhan ji, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. Upinder Dhar sir ji, and Dr. Shukla, Coordinator, SBIFS. All the HOI, HODs, faculty members, and the participants. Thank you very much for joining Utthan 2024, which is focused on humanitarian forensics. Friends, we are all aware of significant role of forensic science in criminal justice system. And it is gradually expanding its sphere of influence and solving problems related to human sufferings brought on by criminal activity, maybe a willful criminal activity, natural calamities, disasters, or human errors. Forensic humanitarian action, also known as the use of forensic tools to humanitarian operations that are used to identify buried dead during exhumations, individuals from human remains, human losses resulting from natural calamities, disasters, missing persons during migration or maybe any region. In fact, humanitarian forensics make use of forensic anthropology. It was believed desirable to choose this subject since it plays a vital part in human investigations. Generally, it is considered that this human forensics is a new subject to the forensic field. But it is not new. We understand the forensic anthropology, forensic this DNA fingerprinting, and forensic medicine. Since a long back, even I remember one case from FSL Sagar, Madhya Pradesh. They identified the person, a postman, who was missing since last 1 year, only on the basis of the reconstruction of the skulls with the use of the photograph which was available with us. So the name has begun presently, but the techniques belonging to the forensic field was in practice since long back. But it was highlighted from at about 1918 from Argentina, where the mass grave was opened and about 300 persons were identified with the use of this technique, forensic medicine, combination of forensic medicine and this, etc. Actually, this branch has it's now taken the shape in India also. And credit goes to the National Forensic Science University, Ahmedabad, Gandhinagar, sorry, where a international conference was organized, and with that effect, now it is in the everywhere is talking about the forensic, this humanitarian forensics. So the theory, the principles of the forensic medicine, DNA fingerprinting, all these this humanitarian forensic sciences focused on the identification of the personal identification. So we have chosen this topic in Utthan 22, and we are very fortunate that a very experienced personality, Dr. Bola Chauhanji, is a well-known criminologist. He is having a great knowledge of the law related to the human beings. And also credit goes to Dr. Upendra Dhar, who suggested this thing. It is worthy to mention that why the humanitarian forensic has been chosen as a subject, because it is the university where we are teaching the human values as a one of the subjects. It is in the syllabus, and credit goes to the vice chancellor who has introduced this human values this subject, and the person who will take admission in this will has to take this subject. So our chief guest will do best to enrich you all regarding the humanitarian forensics. There will be two sessions, preliminary sessions after this inaugural session. And in the first preliminary session, three renowned personalities will deliver their deliberation. The first one is Dr. Rajesh Babu, the head of the International Center for Humanitarian Forensics and Dean School of Medical Legal Studies from NFSU, Ahmedabad. He will present an overview on the humanitarian forensics. The next will Dr. Biom J. He's from the Melbourne, Australia. He's also a president of African Society of Forensic Medicine. Now, third one is Dr. Praveen Kumar Arora. He's a professor and head former forensic medicine and toxicology division of the Sri Aurobindo Medical College, Indore. And in the second preliminary session, we will have Dr. Anupama Rana, scientist B, forensic pathology and molecular DNA laboratory, AIMS, New Delhi. So it is expected with the all participants, they will enrich their knowledge regarding the humanitarian forensics. So this is all about the this program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Dr. Upinder Dhar, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Sri Vaishnav Vidyapeeth Vishwavidyalaya, Indore, to present his inaugural remarks. Over to you, sir.
Chief guest on this occasion, Professor Chauhan, my colleagues who have joined the webinar, all delegates, friends, faculty colleagues. First of all, I would like to congratulate the organizing team for choosing a very topical area for this faculty development program. The term humanitarian forensic was first coined by the International Committee of the Red Cross, which is popularly known as ICRC. It is defined as the application of forensic science to humanitarian activities. In other words, humanitarian action itself is defined by the ICRC as a range of activities that seek to alleviate human suffering and protect the dignity of all victims of armed conflict and catastrophe carried out in a neutral, impartial, and independent manner, free of charge and framed under international humanitarian law. The common conception of forensic medicine and related sciences is that they are crucial parts of the evidence for or against guilt and means relating to the court, or more simply, relating to the law. As closely related to law and criminal trials as they are, there has always been a humanitarian character to forensic medicine and related sciences. Along the way to providing evidence in a murder trial, forensic pathology will have helped identify the deceased, thus ensuring the body is available to the family for a funeral. It will also have contributed to the understanding of what happened to the deceased, so that corrosive uncertainty about this is replaced by something closer to the truth, as terrible as that might be. Along the way to providing evidence in a rape trial, forensic medicine may well have been involved in the early medical and other assistance provided to the victims, which should ameliorate some of the physical and psychological sequence of the assault. These examples are taken for granted in most domestic settings in the developed world. The goal of humanitarian forensic action is to provide some of the same benefits in post-conflict, post-disaster settings as a part of the overall humanitarian response. Managing the dead, including protecting their dignity, but also helping to identify them to prevent and resolve the tragedy of people missing, is one of the three pillars of humanitarian response following conflicts or disasters, along with caring for survivors and restoring basic services. Clearly, forensic assistance is helpful in the first of these. Other areas where forensic skills can deliver humanitarian benefits include the monitoring of places of detention, managing hunger strikes, estimating the age of living individuals, documenting injuries and torture, especially in custodial settings, interaction with bereaved relatives, evaluating deaths in custody, managing very large numbers of dead following catastrophe, managing and identifying deceased migrants, dealing with mass graves, finding and identifying soldiers missing in action. These all have a profoundly humanitarian character and help relieve human suffering resulting from catastrophic events. So, with this theme, with these words, I think this faculty development program is going to be very useful for all the participants, all those who are attending this program, because the subject is very important and timely. So I wish all the best to all the faculty members and happy learning. And once again, I welcome Professor Chauhan to this webinar. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words of wisdom. Now, I would like to introduce our chief guest, Professor Balraj Chauhan. Professor Balraj Chauhan, presently working with Center for Research and Industrial Staff Performance Organization on Project for Excellence in Higher Learning and Education in UP Project for Transforming Higher Education and Bringing Excellence to Match with National and International Standards. Professor Balraj Chauhan was the founding Vice Chancellor of Dharmashastra National Law University, Jabalpur, and before that, he was the Vice Chancellor of Dr. Ram Manohar Lohia National Law University, Lucknow, and National Law University, Bhopal. Professor Chauhan has also served as Director, Amity Law School, Lucknow. Professor Balraj Chauhan has also been a member of UP State Law Commissions, member of UP State Legal Services Authority, and executive member. Shastri Indo-Canadian Institute, New Delhi. And Professor Chauhan's special interest is in the field of criminal law, criminology, and clinical legal education. Professor Chauhan has completed several projects funded by the state and other national and international agencies. Professor Chauhan is a distinguished scholar and was awarded Dr. Kumar Rapa Reckless Award in 2009 for contributing to the field of criminology. He has received prestigious fellowships including the Commonwealth Foundation Fellowship 2011 and Fellowship of Indian Society of Criminology. He is visiting faculty to several national law universities, Judicial Training Research Institute, NJA, etc. He has been associated with the National Institute of Criminology and Forensic Science of BPRND, Ministry of Home Affairs, New Delhi, and also visited various international universities in USA, UK, South Africa, Italy, Uganda, Philippines, and Canada as an invitee. Professor Chauhan is the member of the Executive Council of National Law University, Delhi, and Rajiv Gandhi National Law University, Patiala, and member of Academic Council of several universities. He is a prolific writer and has contributed several research in national and international journals. He has authored 2 books and edited books on human rights. He has more than 40 years of experience of teaching and research. Professor Chauhan is well versed with project formulation, financial planning, busting of proposals, resource management, monitoring and organizing workshops, training programs and seminars. Several students have completed their LLD and PhD under his guidance. Now, I request Honorable Chief Guest Dr. Balraj Chauhan for his kind address. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Am I audible?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Honorable Vice Chancellor of Shri Vaishnav Vidyapeeth Vishwavidyalaya Indore, my friend Dr. Gautam, distinguished faculty members, dear participants, and thank you, Dr. Poonam Yadav, for very nice and elaborate introduction. At the outset, I would like to thank the organizers of this faculty development program, Utthan, who have invited me and provided me this wonderful opportunity to have an interaction with the learned faculty members, Honorable Vice Chancellor, and the participants. The pleasure is doubled because the topic is very relevant and it's very attractive. You see, nowadays we are discussing how to improve the standards, how to bring the quality in higher education. And when you see young minds discussing, interacting, debating, researching on such topics like humanitarian forensics. Really, it's a matter of pleasure and satisfaction. And for that, really, the Vice Chancellor deserves special compliments, and the faculty, and I will say Dr. Gautam is a very experienced person, a very, very experienced professor. So they might have chosen this particular topic. Friends, you all know that basically I am a student of law. I am a hybrid criminologist because I am not a pure criminologist. I come from the law faculty, and then I studied criminology, and then I blended them both. And the results I got, they were really very good for me. And I give all credit for this to my teachers who guided me in the initial years. But today, when I see the blending of forensic science with criminology and the criminal justice administration, it is quite alarming. Sometimes it appears that where we will land, because you might have seen that we are going to have the new legislation soon. From 1st July, we are going to have all the 3 new laws, whether it is Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, Bharatiya Sakshya Adhiniyam, or Nagrik Suraksha Sanhita. So instead of IPC, CRPC, and the law of evidence, and fortunately, I was also the member of the committee which was constituted by the government of India to give the recommendations for these legislations. Apart that, when I discuss or think about the forensic science, and especially I always say that forensics as a source of scientifically validated evidence epitomizes application of the expertise gathered from various disciplines, including physical sciences, social sciences, and technological progressions. Thus, forensics as an applied discipline encapsulates knowledge gathered from various fields. Since ages, in common parlance, forensic is understood to assist courtroom proceedings. Accordingly, this subject remained limited to judicial settings as an aid to explore truth behind a fact, obligatory for judicial decision making. It was in the beginning. Forensic is not merely an expert opinion, because what Professor Dhar was talking about, because how the Red Cross took it in some other direction. Humanitarian angle, they gave it the humanitarian angle. It is only because forensic is not merely an expert opinion or technology-driven finding, but it is indeed a mindset for logical and critical thinking. I will request all the delegates to please note these words. Mindset for logical and critical thinking. Primary requirement. Necessary for decision making in any ecosystem, including judicial settings. Forensic vision permeates probity in evidence-based argumentation, ensuring admissibility of a fact. Whether you are looking for a displaced person, lost person, you are trying, whatever, I will come to that. But Professor Dhar raised those particular issues, and very nicely he, I think, desired, as well as he gave you a caution that in future, how the forensic science is going to be used. Forensic vision permeates probity in evidence-based argumentation, ensuring admissibility of a fact. Forensic knowledge ensures procedural righteousness involved in any process, which may be social, political, economic, legal, or technological in nature. forensic intelligence may help to expand the horizon of the discipline. Basically, the term forensic science is used for criminal investigation, security behavioral sciences, and the criminology initially. However, the word for the forensics, what Professor Dharma is talking about, comes from the Latin word forensic, which means of the forum. In Roman times, a forum was a public space where legal matters were discussed. So, forensic originally referred to anything related to public debate or arguments in legal settings. While the term forensic science is recent, the particular field of forensic science ranges over a very wide range of matters of particular, though not exclusive, significance in criminal cases, such as the identification of poison and chemicals, fibers and paints, the comparison of the specimen of handwriting, the authenticity of the audio and the video recording, and the analysis of the sample of drug, blood, and other bodily fluids and tissue, and in particular, the presence and the age of fingerprints and the blood stains. The analysis of DNA sample, the examination of weapons and ammunition, the identification of the drugs, facial mapping, voice identification, ear and eye prints, lip reading, sudden infant death syndrome, shaken body syndrome, layout, road layout, accident investigation, and the driver behavior, etc. However, this today's faculty development program is focused on the humanitarian forensics. Humanitarian forensics is a branch of forensic science which applies the tools and techniques of the forensic science to situations of human crisis, disaster, or conflict. It prioritizes humanitarian goal, what Professor Dhar was talking about, over criminal investigations. Here are some key aspects, because I tried to place before you of the humanitarian forensics. Number one, humanitarian forensics always focuses on the victim. In criminal justice administration, forensic is focusing on the criminal. But in humanitarian forensics, the focus is on the victim. Unlike traditional forensics, which aims to solve crimes and prosecute perpetrators, humanitarian forensics prioritizes the needs of the victims and their families. Friends, I hope that the new Bharatiya Nagarik Sanhita, CRPC, what we are going to have, you will find that there is more focus on the victim. All investigation which may have, because that's in the true, literally speaking terms, that will not be humanitarian forensics, but it will be a good ground for helping the humanity. Because once you are helping the victims and you are trying to wipe the tears, then it will be a good assistance for the victim. So this particular part, and I understand this Vidyapeeth, your graduates, your postgraduate, what you are producing, they are going to serve the country, and there will be need of thousands and thousands and thousands of the forensic experts. Because now for the offenses where the punishment is more than 7 years, the forensic examination is going to be made compulsory, mandatory, from where we will get those forensic scientists. And those applications, how we will see them on the ground. So that will be one thing, but it focuses on victims. Number two, finding the missing and the identifying the dead, what Professor Dhar was talking about. A crucial aspect involved locating missing people and identifying the deceased in disasters or conflicts. If there is a conflict, armed disaster, whatever it is, because when we are trying to find out the or we are trying to identify the disease, this forensic techniques will help. This provides closer to families and aids in recovery efforts. Most important thing is that it will help us in giving the dignified treatment of the dead. Humanitarian forensics ensures the respectful handling and the identification of the deceased in accordance with cultural and the religious practices. Supporting survivors. Information gathered through the forensic analysis can support survivors by helping them understand what happened to their loved ones. And we have seen in so many countries how this particular exercise has been undertaken. Professor Dharbaz rightly said that organizations like the International Committee of the Red Cross plays a significant role in promoting and implementing humanitarian forensic practice around the world. The International Committee of the Red Cross uses forensic science for the humanitarian purpose to clarify the fate of missing persons after the armed conflicts, disasters, or migration, and is one of the services related to restoring family links and the missing persons. Knowing what has happened to a missing relative can often make it easier to proceed with the grieving process and move on with the life for families of the missing persons. Forensic science is used by various other organizations to clarify the fate and whereabouts of persons who have gone missing. Examples include the NGO Argentina Forensic Anthropology Team working to clarify the fate of people who disappeared during the period of the 1976 to 1983 military dictatorship. The International Commission on Missing Persons, ICMP, used forensic science to find missing persons, for example, after the conflict in the Balkans. Recognizing the role of forensic science for humanitarian purposes, as well as the importance of the forensic investigation in fulfilling the state's responsibilities to investigate human rights violations, a group of experts in the late 1980 devised a UN manual on the prevention and investigation of extra-legal, arbitrary, and summary executions, which became known as the Minnesota Protocol. The document was revised and republished by the Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights in 2016. I will request you all participants who are sitting here, I will request you all to read the article of Dr. G.K. Goswami, IPS, Director, UP Institute of Forensic Science, Lucknow. He has published an article in the Supreme Court cases recently. It's a 2023 volume 9. Very recently, he has published in the Supreme Court cases. The title of the article is Spreading Wings of Forensic Science. In this article, Dr. Goswami has proposed, for the purposes of the redefining the scope of forensic science, to create new branches for the subjects with new terminology, because this humanitarian angle is everywhere. So he has proposed that with new terminology, new branches can also be taught and people may work. An indicative list which he has suggested, and I think it will be useful, may include community forensic, banking forensic, environmental forensic, social media forensics, forensic aid, etc. And these additions will help more researches, more interactive practices, more literature. Like humanitarian forensics, I think such type of work will add more feathers in the cap of the forensic scientist. It is manifestly clear that forensic science has a potential for enabling for critical thinking and logical decision making. Uh, one thing is very clear. This particular science, it helps in decision making. Whether it is law, when any forensic scientist gives its report as an expert before the court, that is accepted. If any findings is made before the nation by the team of the forensic scientists, it is accepted. So it is very well clear that it is having a potential for enabling people for critical thinking and logical decision making. That is the most important thing. There is ample scope for interdisciplinary research and to develop area specific branches of the forensics. Indeed, knowledge of forensic will collectively brace and enable the right to access to justice, scientific investigation, and fair and speedy trial. I would like to thank the organizers for providing me this wonderful opportunity to place my views before a learned audience, which has gathered for the faculty development program. I am hopeful that taking cue what we are going to discuss, what we have already discussed and what you will be discussing in next 2 days, humanitarian movements you will take further, because humanitarian forensics is okay, but what more may be added, that is more important. So thank you very much. Thank you, Professor Dhar. Thank you, Dr. Gautam, for providing me this wonderful opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for valuable deliberation. Thank you once again. Every beginning has its end. So moving towards the end of this inaugural session, let's invite Dr. Asutosh Shukla, convener Utthan 2024 and coordinator Srivastava Institute of Forensic Science, for words of thanks. Over to you, sir.
अनम्यूट करिए शुक्ला जी.
Thanks, Poonam madam. Good noon to all dignitaries. It gives me immense pleasure to propose words of thanks on the occasion of inaugural ceremony of Faculty Development Program Utthan on humanitarian forensics. Today, we are lucky to have knowledgeable person, Honorable former Vice Chancellor, Dharamshala National Law University, Jabalpur, Dr. Balraj Chauhan, with us. He devoted his valuable time to be with us and blessed us for his words of wisdom. Thank you so much, sir. We assure you that we will apply and practice what we have learned from you. Sir, you have deliberated the relation of forensic science and humanitarian forensics. Thanks again for that. I would like to have thanked to the torch of the university, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Shri Vaishnav Vidyapit Vishwavidyalaya Indore, Dr. Upinder Dhar, for his strong support and guidance that inspires us to organize such activities. My heart goes out to thank eminent speakers of this today's FDPs for accepting our invitation. Sirs, without your kind presence, we shall not accomplish what we have dreamed out. Next, I would like to thank advisor of the FDP, respected Gautam sir, for leading and inspiring us in working towards the goal. I know the delegates from various institutions like Arvindo Medical College, Indira Gandhi Center for Atomic Research, Kalpakkam, Police Department, Parul University, FSL Delhi, Purvanchal University, Vivekananda Global University, Chandigarh University, Lovely Professional University, Guru Gobind Singh University, IGNO Delhi University, Banaras Hindu University, GD Goenka University, NIMS University, Rajasthan, and others, and also Registrar Health Ministry of Sri Lanka. So I also thank all of you, and definitely this FDP will be going to increase knowledge of you. My special thanks to the HOI, Dr. V.R. Sampath, Mr. Vinod Dhar, and our Jigyasu Dubey sir for being devoting time for this inaugural session. Thanks, sir. My heartfelt thanks to all my colleagues of my institute, Dr. Swati Dubey Mishra, Ms. Nandini Bansod, Mr. Nirvan Ingole, Mr. Dinesh Kamble, Ms. Poonam Yadav, Ms. Arkita Singh, Ms. Shilpa Joshi, Dr. Surbi Girdhar, for making efforts to success this FDP. Needless to say that our technical team, without the presence of my technical team, Mr. Ayush Verma, he has taken care of audio-visual system very nicely, thanks to him. Let us have a special recognition for all the student volunteers for providing help. But I sincerely apologize if I have missed out somebody. Sorry for that. Thank you again to all of you and happy learning to all of us. Thanks a lot. Over to you, Poonam madam.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So
All
one
are
question,
requested. Yes,
on Pune, madam. Since Dr. Astu Shukla was thanked me, I want to ask one question to note that I have clearly watched the complete presentation. I'm very happy to share that whatever I learned from Dr. Balraj Chauhan, he has clearly defined about what is forensic science and what is humanitarian forensics. But I have one doubt because normally the normal term what they use is anthropology. What is the difference between humanitarian forensics and forensics anthropology? Suppose if it clears me, it will be helpful to me. Because anthropologist is different. And there is a bit confusion whether humanitarian forensics people are the same as anthropologists. Because anthropology is entirely different. That's what my knowledge goes. If anybody can clear, even the advisor also can clear.
Yes, yes.
Will you allow me to speak?
I am here itself. I will take one class of this thing. Because the anthropology is used in forensic, humanitarian forensics. Okay. When we are going to identify someone, These are the only, because there is a different types of anthropology, physical anthropology, medical anthropology. There are various aspects of the anthropology. So as far as the forensic anthropology is also having so many divisions. So the use of anthropological approach for the humanitarians action. There is a difference between humanitarian only activities and similarly with the action. Okay, so I will give you the all details. So your confusion will be ruled out. Okay, but you have taken and you have listened the lecture very thoroughly. It is more important because you have gone through you have pinpointed the thing. Okay. Similarly, the pathology, forensic medicine and forensic pathology. Somebody, those who are not concerned with the subject, they know. But once again, I would like to congratulate Dr. Chauhan. And he is a person of law and criminology also. But how he has introduced his views in the humanitarian forensic is wonderful. I was listening each and every word of Dr. Chauhan, what he was studying. I know this personality since long back, but he has given something to think over it. About some new directions he has given, and with regarding to the new this CRPC sections. And one more thing, you just listen, all my dear participants, what Dr. Chauhan has given the hint about your future prospects. And now the time will come that there will be the number of posts will be available. Then nobody will be without any job until unless you will not be ready yourself, you may be ready for interviews which are being used to select the person. Means you have to understand what is the forensic science, what is the psychology, what is the philosophy of the forensic science. Because our Chauhan Sahab had told this. There is a various aspects, not only the technical aspect, the analytical approaches, but forensic science is something else. Therefore, the philosophy of forensic science should be understood by all of us. So I'm very much thankful to Dr. Chauhan that he has accepted our request. He taken trouble. He spared his valuable time. I know he is a very busy man. And how nicely you have presented. Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We'll meet again.
Okay, again, I will call you.
Thank you. No, I will come and meet you.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Now proceed, Poonam.
Okay, thank you, sir. All are requested, please, on the camera for the photograph. Please.
Okay.
I would, sir. Done, I, sir.
Just a second, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. All are requested to rise for national anthem.
Mane Adinayak Jai Jai Bharat Bhaki Vidhata Punjab Sindh Gujarat
तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष
नामे जागे
तव
शुभ आशीष
जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य
मंगलदायक भारत भाग्य
जय हे
Thank you. Now we will have a break and we will all gather here again with our first plenary session going to start at 1 p.m. with Google Meeting.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
So once again,
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, sir.
once
Thank
again,
you, sir.
नमस्कार सर, चौहान साहब।
नमस्कार सर, नमस्कार सर।
भविष्य में भी आपसे उम्मीद करूंगा कि आप पधारें।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल डॉक्टर साहब, डॉक्टर गौतम, थैंक यू वेरी मच।
पर आपकी बार ऑनलाइन नहीं, आपकी बार तो आपका प्रेजेंस में।
नहीं, इट विल बी ए प्लेजर। और उसका जवाब आपने बड़ा अच्छा दिया, लेकिन डॉक्टर साहब को मैं कहना चाह रहा था, ह्यूमैनिटेरियन इंक्लूड्स एंथ्रोपोलॉजी, लॉ, फिलॉसफी, एवरीथिंग। So when we talk about the humanitarian law, don't give the compartments to that. You see, use knowledge for the sake of humanity. So, thank you.
मिल गया जवाब सर को। ओके, नमस्कार।
नमस्कार।
So should we leave this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay.
चौहान साहब को एक धन्यवाद अपन।
सर मीटिंग क्लोज कर दीजिए। परवेश सर।